this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Do you want to find a stress-free way to buy your next car? Start at CarMax and shop your way. And if you want to browse with confidence, get pre-qualified online with no impact on your credit score and shop cars within your budget. From luxury cars to family rides, CarMax has options for almost every price range, including more than 25,000 cars priced under $25,000. So, hey, want to get started? Just head to CarMax.com for details and get pre-qualified today. Want to drive? CarMax.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Lost support through telehealth, but it feels overwhelming and rushed? Check out OrderlyMeds.com now. OrderlyMeds.com was built to be different. Here, you connect with real doctors who take the time to understand your goals, review your eligibility, and guide you through a plan that's right for you. Orderly Meds provides access to proven GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, including both name brand options and personalized compound versions when appropriate. So you have choices backed by clinical oversight, not guesswork. It's a simpler, more supportive telehealth experience designed around people who want clarity, care, and confidence in their weight loss journey. And your medication is delivered directly to your home in discreet packaging, so your experience stays private from start to finish. Do your research, ask the right questions, then visit orderlymeds.com/podcast for an exclusive offer. Again, that's orderlymeds.com/podcast. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
We all have different styles.
I may be into Levi's, and you may be into Fendi or Miu Miu.
But we all should be into Poshmark.com.
Right? Because we can all find exactly what we want to fit our style.
Poshmark has millions of new and pre-lived pieces.
Vintage, luxury, men's, women's, children's.
Everything from Carhartt to Coach.
Download the Poshmark app and sign up with code PODCAST10 and get $10 off your first purchase.
I know how much you all love part one, so here is part two of Between Us Girls with me and Boz. When you look at your future, do you do life in increments? Like, I still think of the year in school years. I mean, I still have a kid in high school, so
from summer to summer.
So do you.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I just think, I think September to May is like one chunk, and then we have the summer.
Hilarious.
But do you think of your life in, like, you have life events coming up, so you're going to get married and your daughter's going to go to college, or do you think I have a 5-year plan?
No,
how do you,
definitely not.
How do you look at your future?
Yeah, no, I really don't do 5-year and 10-year plans and all that stuff. I don't even do vision boards. I don't do any of that stuff because I really do feel like it like hinders and dampens the ability for something truly magical to happen in your life.
Okay.
You know, this is back to the work and the manifestation and all of that stuff. Like, I just feel like, look, if you're not living in the present, you're definitely going to miss something. Yes. You know, it's like you're over here looking at 5 years down the road. Meanwhile, you have an opportunity sitting to your left, and you're just going to totally miss that because you're over here trying to check off the box. You know, so I really do try to stay in the present as possible. And it takes a lot of discipline to do that because the desire is to plan for later. Now, I'm not saying that I'm out here like without a retirement plan. Of course I have one.
I didn't mean money. You're
mean?
smart.
Yeah.
Trust me. I know we're
It's
good
not
there.
that.
Yeah.
But like if you were to say, you know, what do you want to do in 3 years? Like I actually don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, but is there something on your list?
Not really, to be honest with you.
So you're just open to the universe, see what happens.
I'm open. And I feel like that has really been a blessing to me. It really worked with my corporate career too, by the way. Because people look at my resume and be like, oh my God, the strategy behind building this thing. And I'm like, if you knew the stories
how little
in
strategy
between,
there was.
I was on an interview once where the interviewer was actually arguing with me. Just like, there's no way you get a resume like this without strategy. I was like, oh yeah? You want to talk about it? How long do you have? Because I will tell you what happened between each move and you won't, like, it'll make sense to you. And at the same time, you'll be like, God damn.
Because I think you're someone who's so very open to the universe. It's like you're saying, you're consciously present, open to the universe, and able to see the moves. Yeah. So the show with Jimmy, did that just come up? Like, how does that happen? By the way, I met Nancy.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, at BravoCon. And Brandon.
How did I not meet Nancy at
You didn't
BravoCon?
meet her?
I didn't. I've never met the woman in real life.
Oh my God,
Crazy.
she's fabulous.
So here's what had happened. And again, this is why I'm like, I don't have these 5-year plans because I never know what I'm going to do.
Right.
You know? So I took what I thought was a sabbatical from my corporate career to write my book. Right. And once I was done publishing, I was like, I don't really want to go back. But, my ego was working on me. And I was like, I need to be Bozoma St. John from such and such company, CMO of this and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And there was people, talking and writing think pieces about how my career was done and this and that. And so I took a series of interviews, for some pretty big jobs. Got really close to one where, I had an offer sent with my lawyer and I just had to meet the board after meeting the CEO and all that stuff. And the job was actually based in Europe. And so I was sitting there in my hotel room and I was like, man, I don't want this job. I don't want to do this. But I didn't know what I was going to do. Because I was like, well, I take care of my daughter. I take care of my parents. I have several family members I take care of. I'm like, I have to make an income. Yeah. Right? Like,
you need cash flow.
I need cash flow.
I get it.
But I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yo, girl, I cried and cried and cried and cried because I knew I couldn't take the job. And I left. I went home. I declined the offer. And then I'm sitting in bed, like, eating bonbons and rocking slowly, And I was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah. And
then I got an email from Bravo. And they were like, we'd love to talk to you about joining the Housewives. And I'm like, what? That's outrageous. Why would I? And what's so funny? At first, I thought the email was about me becoming like the CMO of like, I didn't think it was me going on the show.
Oh my gosh, that's so
honestly,
funny. You're like, okay, so I'm going to run Andy
Yes.
Cohen.
Exactly. I literally, the first call, it was like, I was like, wait, I don't understand what's going on here, because like.
Who did you talk to?
Well, here's what's funny. My assistants at the time, like the email came to them, right? And so they presented it like, oh, this came and, we think you should do it. And I'm just like, what? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. I was just like, why would they call me? So literally the first meeting was with Kathleen at NBC. And I was like, so what is it that you want from me? Like I was so confused. And because I was just like, I've talked to NBC execs my entire career, right? From a media standpoint. So I was like, what is it that you'd like me? You want me in front of the camera? Like, I don't even understand what this offer is. You know what I mean? But here's what's so crazy is that when I decided to do it for many, many reasons, but also because of what I was feeling at the time and feeling like, this is scary, but I think this is where I'm supposed to be going.
And after leaving Europe, you're now like, looking for the thing.
Yeah. So now I'm on high alert. And I'm like, oh shit, I think this is it, right? So I come on the show, very first episode, it's like we run down my career. They're like, she's done this and she's done that and blah, 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 blah. I'm also wearing this enormous gown. It's a very contradictory image that is on the screen. And Nancy is watching the show. And Jimmy.
That's Jimmy Fallon's wife.
Yes, Jimmy Fallon's wife.
Who's a producer.
Yes. So Nancy's watching the show. Jimmy had sold On Brand to NBC like a year prior, had interviewed a dozen CMOs, all had great chops, did not have great TV presence. And then she saw me and she was like, holy shit, I think I just found your co-host. And so Jimmy, makes the connections, his people, my people, and we get on a call. Maybe it was 5 minutes of a call before we were like, yeah, this is it. Let's go do this. Wow. You know what I mean? So my point is that I don't make these 5-year and 10-year plans simply because of that. If you needed another example, this is it. Where it's just like, I shouldn't have been in the role in Housewives. I should have been doing something else. But here I am.
I'm so excited to share that this podcast is sponsored by The Real Real, the best place to shop authenticated luxury handbags, clothing, watches, and so much more. I'm obsessed with Prada or nada, and there are great Prada finds on The Real Real. I love scouring The Real Real for new pieces. P.S. They add over 10,000 new arrivals every day, most from me, and they do their daily drops at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern. I shop and sell at The Real Real, which is great because I can use my earnings for something special and new to me. So when you sell with The Real Real, they do everything for you, from photography and copywriting to shipping, pricing, and customer service. So you can just sit back and get paid. Plus, with over 40 million fashion lovers on The Real Real, your items will sell fast. The Real Real just makes it so easy. Resale is what they do, so you have time to do you. The Real Real is the most trusted name in authenticated luxury resale with over 10,000 new arrivals daily. No one does resale like The Real Real. And now, get $25 off of your first purchase when you go to therealreal.com/Dubrow. That's therealreal.com/Dubrow to get your $25 off. Start shopping now at therealreal.com/Dubrow. I am so obsessed with everyone I know that is getting on the bandwagon of the GLP-1s. Unbelievable weight loss for cardioprotectiveness, and on and on and on. And there's Ro. Ro offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. It is available at $149 for the first dose, in addition to your Ro membership fee, and $299 a month for the higher doses. The Ro Body membership includes access to FDA-approved GLP-1s, unlimited provider messaging, side effect management, and so much more, all for just $45 for your first month and $145 a month thereafter. The Ro membership fee excludes the cost of GLP-1 medication. Go to ro.co/between to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on Ro. That's ro.co/between to get started on Ro. Go to ro.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC. SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Are you trying to get weight loss support through telehealth, but it feels overwhelming and rushed? Check out OrderlyMeds.com now. OrderlyMeds.com was built to be different. Here, you connect with real doctors who take the time to understand your goals, review your eligibility, and guide you through a plan that's right for you. Orderly Meds provides access to proven GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, including both name brand options and personalized compound versions when appropriate. So you have choices backed by clinical oversight, not guesswork. It's a simpler, more supportive telehealth experience designed around people who want clarity, care, and confidence in their weight loss journey. And your medication is delivered directly to your home in discreet packaging, so your experience stays private from start to finish. Do your research, ask the right questions, then visit orderlymeds.com/podcast for an exclusive offer. Again, that's orderlymeds.com/podcast. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
Let's talk personal style.
Are you a classic jeans and tee minimalist, a Louis Vuitton lover, or do you like a little bit of both depending on the vibe?
Whatever your fashion mood, you can find what feels like you on Poshmark.
With millions of new and pre-loved pieces, Poshmark is your one-stop style destination. From everyday wardrobe staples to vintage gems and luxury labels. Into Reformation? Got it. Carhartt? Got that too. From designer bags to streetwear, it's all there.
Men's? Yes. Women's? Absolutely. Kids? You bet.
And the best part? You're shopping real closets from real people with real style. It's like rating your most fashionable friend's wardrobe.
If you had thousands of fashionable friends. Plus, every item over $500 goes through Poshmark's authentication process. So you can shop high-end with total confidence. Ready to refresh your closet? Download the Poshmark app and sign up with code PODCAST10 and get $10 off your first purchase.
Go ahead, find your next favorite thing.
I'm dying to talk to you about IVF.
Yes,
All right.
please.
So I have 4 kids.
Yes.
3 IVF, 1 au naturel. No one had told me that if a man and woman have sex,
No one had told
a child
Girl.
can happen.
Oh, man.
I
You missed biology class.
No, I did.
On that day.
I wasn't that smart.
Okay.
Listen, I thought you had to pay a lot of money, get a petri dish, have a whole situation.
Mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was surprising. Anywho, the IVF thing, first
Yes.
of all, no one can prepare you
No one.
for what that's like. Can I ask a personal question? Maybe
Yes,
you've
please,
discussed
please.
this, but your daughter was au naturel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
you did not know from
No.
this whole fertility thing at all.
No, I didn't. And just to add a little more complexity to it, my natural pregnancies were terrible. They were awful experiences. So I actually had a daughter before Lael who died the day she was born.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it was because I had preeclampsia and I had a protein S deficiency and all kinds of craziness. So Lael was also born a preemie and spent a lot of time in the NICU. I was over here hooting, hollering, and praying, that she'd come out. And so she feels like a miracle to me. And after Peter died, I really didn't consider that I would have another child, because it just kind of felt like, okay, God blessed me with one marriage, blessed me with one living child. Like, I think I'm good. What more can I ask for? But it wasn't until I met Keely that, and he doesn't have any kids, has never
How
been
old is
married.
Keely?
He's 50.
Okay.
And he was like, I really would like a family. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I was like, well, sounds like you should be dating somebody
Someone
else.
else.
You know what I mean?
I don't have a younger
yeah,
sister,
exactly. I was
but-
like, I can't help you there. But he was like, no, you're the one, and girl, by the way, this was like 2 months into dating. Like it wasn't like we had 6 months. We knew immediately that this was it, and, we were talking about it and I was just like, man, and I told him everything. I told him my fears. Like, it's not just a physical thing to me. It's not just my age, but like mentally, like I've been through a lot of therapy for all that trauma. I was like, I don't know that I could survive like mentally through another pregnancy.
Yeah.
And he was the one who was so encouraging and gave me really a lot of optimism into doing it. And by the way, it was like taking like an old archive, something, and like blowing, and it's like all the dust flies off, like hopes and dreams that I had buried.
Yeah, right.
And then I was like, oh my God.
Is it
I
possible?
I actually
I have
do
chills
want
from
it.
that.
I was like, but I've been so afraid to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Didn't think another partner was coming. Certainly didn't want to do it by myself. So, I mean, look, I already raised Lael by myself. I was like, I think I could do another one. I'm tired. But the possibility of having a child with Keely was just, I was like, wow, this is really possible. And I didn't know that.
I mean, that's the first step, is to put all the fears
Yes.
and being able to say something like that
Yeah.
out loud. What chapped my ass was I saw a lot of, very rude comments about.
Oh, yes.
And I can't imagine how first of all, how hard it is to go through this, period. How hard this is to go through at 49.
Yes.
How hard this is to go through on television. And how hard this is to go through with the peanut gallery telling you you're too old to have a baby.
Absolutely. Everybody.
Unpack all that.
Oh my God. Well, the thing is that when I was able to actually admit to myself that I also wanted a baby, it was really an awakening, you know? And I don't know how to really describe it. You know, it was just like, it's just like imagining,
like an aha moment.
Yeah, just like imagining something that you really, really want and you think you could never have it. And then all of a sudden it appears.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, so do I dare hope? And you know how hope is? That bitch can kick you in the ass.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Tough,
man. And so I was like, God, do I even dare to hope for this? And I really do believe in divine timing and all those things. So Winston Duke, he's an actor. He played one of the characters in Black Panther. He's a friend, and I had just had my fibroid surgery, which I also did on the show, in hopes of course, clearing the way so that I could carry a pregnancy. And he didn't know any of that. He just called me late one night, you know, and he's checking up on me, see how I'm doing. And I was asking him how he's doing, and he's like, oh, he's about to go into, you know, he's investing in a clinic for his sister. And I was like, what does she do? And he's like, well, she's one of the top, you know, like IVF, Black women IVF doctors in the country. And I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Repeat-a-vous?
Huh?
What?
Come again? You know, but it was and it was so crazy because he says this, and Heather, I tell you, I start crying. And so he's on the phone like, hello? Both? Is everything okay? Yeah.
Everything
like
good?
everything all right? Did I say something wrong? You know, and I was like, no, you won't believe this. I was like, I was like, literally just had fibroid surgery. Maybe I was like 5 days out from my surgery. I was like, I just had fibroid surgery. Me and, you know, my man are considering going through this. I didn't know where to start. I actually don't personally know anyone who has gone through it. I was like, so I don't even know what to do. And now you call me, you tell me your sister is a Black woman and she is an IVF doctor?
Great.
And she's successful? Like, what? So, girl, I took my ass to Vegas. That's where her office is.
Oh, that's where her clinic is?
Yeah. And I
Wow.
went and I talked to her, and she was fantastic. You know, because she understood my fear of my own body.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is a whole nother thing to unpack, like the trusting of your body to deliver what maybe, you know, you think you can't.
Right.
And I wanted to do it in steps. You know, first I was like, okay, am I healthy enough to carry a pregnancy? If not, that's okay. But I just want to know if I can do it so I can rest.
Because you would have considered surrogacy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, let me rest that first. She's like, okay, you know, she was like, girl, you could carry a baby till you're 56. You're fine. You're healthy. Fantastic. You're going to be fine. I was like, okay. Then comes the process of retrieving eggs, which we all know is the most horrible thing on the planet.
Oh, it's the worst.
Girl.
And you
I did
were
not
with
know.
a loving, sweet doctor, I'm guessing. I am telling you that usually the IVF, it's like a factory.
Oh, jeez.
Did you have to do that
Right.
hysterocsalpingogram thing?
I don't know what that is.
It
What
was
that?
like putting your legs in stirrups and having someone that works at Jiffy Lube go in and clean out your tubes.
And just
oh, I'm telling you.
Oh, God.
It was like,
That's
I still have PTSD
They knocked
from
me
it.
out for a couple of these things. So
Well,
I don't
you're
know.
lucky.
Maybe it was one of them.
Oh, well, I'm glad you got knocked out.
Girl,
Okay,
yeah,
and-
no, I can't stand
not
it.
good.
I was like,
Okay.
no, just take me out. But anyway, my point is that I wanted to do everything in stages. You know, I wanted to make sure that I was healthy first
Okay,
to
so
see
you
if I
got
wanted to
that
do that,
check.
check it off. Then it was the
Eggs.
pills and the injections and the weeks and the things and the trigger shots and all of that. To
While you're
extract that-
filming.
all while filming.
Yeah.
So first of all, my hormones are completely out of control, out of whack, and I'm trying to keep up with these women.
Yeah, and some of those meds make you just insane.
Insane.
Yes.
Like, I wish people understood what a master class I did on the show, just based on the fact that I can control my emotion and my mouth
It's shocking.
during this whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, you know how many times I wanted to let loose? And I was sitting there like, just
Hold on.
holding it,
You're
girl.
fine.
Don't do it. This
Don't
ain't
do
real.
it.
This is not real. Your emotions right now, not real. You know, talking myself down most of the times. There was once we were on a girls' trip to Sedona, and it was at the height of, like, I think I was just about to like take a trigger shot or something. We were gonna come back, and I was gonna go straight to retrieve. And poor Nico, my assistant, came in to like give me some breakfast. Yo, girl, I ate him up. I was like, cut him up. tastes good. You know what I mean? And it was like, I think for me, it was like, and the funny thing is, as soon as I did it, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it.
Person I've ever had.
You know? And so it's like, you're doing all of this, going through all of this. People are telling you're too old, feeding into the doubts and the fears I already have.
Yep.
And then having to go through the disappointment of, you know, fertilizing eggs, getting embryos, and then they don't make it. You know, and having to do with that on
So you
camera.
didn't implant them. They just didn't make
they
it
didn't
to
make it to the blast.
blastocyst. Yeah.
Right. So didn't implant them, did that twice. Then I was like, you know what, actually, I need to take a little break.
Yeah.
You know, like I was on the way to the third and I was like, you know what, like I just don't feel it. Like I feel like I gotta stop for a second and just regather myself. And I mean, look, we've had the whole gamut of the conversation. Do we use donor eggs? You know, do we have a surrogate? Do we adopt? You know, it's like, so all of those conversations are still into play. The one thing we know is that we absolutely want to raise a human together.
That's
So
great.
that for me is
and by the way,
the goal.
that statement right there,
Yeah.
that's how I think we should all be entering
Yeah.
parenthood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So well said.
I want to raise a human.
I'm so excited to share that this podcast is sponsored by The Real Real, the best place to shop authenticated luxury handbags, clothing, watches, and so much more. I'm obsessed with Prada or nada, and there are great Prada finds on The Real Real. I love scouring The Real Real for new pieces. P.S. They add over 10,000 new arrivals every day, most from me, and they do their daily drops at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern. I shop and sell at The Real Real, which is great because I can use my earnings for something special and new to me. So when you sell with The Real Real, they do everything for you, from photography and copywriting to shipping, pricing, and customer service. So you can just sit back and get paid. Plus, with over 40 million fashion lovers on The Real Real, your items will sell fast. The Real Real just makes it so easy. Resale is what they do, so you have time to do you. The Real Real is the most trusted name in authenticated luxury resale. With over 10,000 new arrivals daily, no one does resale like The Real Real. And now, get $25 off of your first purchase when you go to therealreal.com/Dubrow. That's therealreal.com/Dubrow to get your $25 off. Start shopping now at therealreal.com/Dubrow.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Lost support through telehealth, but it feels overwhelming and rushed? Check out OrderlyMeds.com now. OrderlyMeds.com was built to be different. Here, you connect with real doctors who take the time to understand your goals, review your eligibility, and guide you through a plan that's right for you. Orderly Meds provides access to proven GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, including both name brand options and personalized compound versions when appropriate. So you have choices backed by clinical oversight, not guesswork. It's a simpler, more supportive telehealth experience designed around people who want clarity, care, and confidence in their weight loss journey. And your medication is delivered directly to your home in discreet packaging, so your experience stays private from start to finish. Do your research, ask the right questions, then visit orderlymeds.com/podcast for an exclusive offer. Again, that's orderlymeds.com/podcast. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
Let's talk personal style.
Are you a classic jeans and tee minimalist, a Louis Vuitton lover, or do you like a little bit of both, depending on the vibe?
Whatever your fashion mood, you can find what feels like you on Poshmark.
With millions of new and pre-loved pieces, Poshmark is your one-stop style destination. From everyday wardrobe staples to vintage gems and luxury labels, Into reformation? Got it. Carhartt? Got that too. From designer bags to streetwear, it's all there.
Men's? Yes. Women's? Absolutely. Kids? You bet.
And the best part? You're shopping real closets from real people with real style. It's like rating your most fashionable friend's wardrobe.
If you had thousands of fashionable friends. Plus, every item over $500 goes through Poshmark's authentication process. So you can shop high-end with total confidence. Ready to refresh your closet? Download the Poshmark app and sign up with code PODCAST10 and get $10 off your first purchase.
Go ahead, find your next favorite thing.
It's tax season, and by now, I know we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Here's another one. 1 in 4 honest, hardworking, tax-paying Americans has been a victim of identity theft. But it's not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's US-based restoration specialist will fix it, backed by another good number, the $1 Million Protection Package. In fact, restoration is guaranteed or your money back. Don't face identity theft and financial losses alone. There's strength in numbers with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection for tax season and beyond. Visit lifelock.com/iHeart and save up to 40% your first year. That's 40% off at lifelock.com/iHeart. Terms apply.
How does your daughter feel about that?
So here, you know what's so funny? So when Lael was like 3, and she was 3 years old, and she sat me down. You know, one of these, like, you know, when the toddler.
By the way, her PowerPoint presentations kill me.
Yeah, correct.
Oh my gosh,
exactly.
I was like,
I'm training.
I was going to buy her an iPad last time. I was like,
see,
honey, Auntie Heather's going to come over.
You and the rest of the annoying Instagram aunties who give that child anything she wants, and I'm over here
she needs to come over to
y'all
my
are on my
house.
side. I'm
I'm the worst.
You are on my side. Never forget that.
I
know what I'm saying?
I'm totally on your side, but I totally messed up with all my children. But they're really good humans,
and we love
they're
that.
very, very grateful people, and they're grounded.
Well, we love
but
that.
I did that all wrong. So you send Lael to Auntie Heather's house.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, Lael takes me by the hand. You know how toddlers do. They like drag you. They think they're going to have a really important conversation. So I'm just kind of playing along with her. And she sits me down on the couch. I remember exactly where we're in New York, like in, you know, our apartment. She sits me down on the couch. She plops up next to me and she looks at me and she's like, I don't want any brothers or sisters. And I was like, what?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Well, what had happened was one of her little classmates at the daycare or the pre-K, whatever, came in and I guess they had like a little brother and they were very excited about it. And she looked at that like it was horrific. You know, she was just like, what the hell is that? Why would you celebrate this? I mean, she was horrified. So she came home and she was like, I just want to be clear. Because she was like, oh, your mommy brought that thing home? Oh, let me go talk to mine and make sure she don't even consider doing that. No, seriously, sat me down. And by the way, if she were here, she would tell you that it has been consistent her entire life. That when other people are like, oh, my little brother, she's like, God, I can't even imagine.
And
you know,
now?
Not I. And so I was so scared, you know, to talk to her about this because, by the way, not that like I was like, oh, you control my womb.
Right.
But I was, you know, I was like, well, she had another fear because we're done with that anyway.
Right.
So when Keely and I were having the conversation and I was like, oh my God, this is actually a real thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I have to go tell her. How am I going to tell her? And so
Did you do a PowerPoint?
I know, right? Exactly. Be like, these are the reasons why.
You should have called me. First, you give her the iPad.
Right. Exactly.
And on the iPad is the PowerPoint.
The PowerPoint telling her why we should have a baby. But no, she said, actually, interestingly enough, we actually had one of the first conversations about this on the show. So it was after I had told her, like, hey, look, this is what I'm considering, but we didn't really get into it. And then we had a conversation that was filmed, and she was looking at me, and I was like, oh, man, this is going to go so bad. You know, I was just like, why did I even agree to do this on camera?
Why are you telling me
exactly,
this on
like,
camera?
right. I'm like,
Oh,
maybe
God.
we need to just hold on, don't tell anybody. And she looked at me, and she said, you know, you've been such a great mom. She was like, I want somebody else to experience that.
Oh, she's
And
such
I
a
was
good
like,
girl.
and of course, the waterworks and all the things. And so from that moment, I was like, girl, you sure you want, like, now it's okay? And she was like, yeah.
She's
want
like,
somebody
by
else
the
to
way, I'm
experience
leaving
it.
in 18
Exactly.
months.
She's like, I'm
We're
out of
good.
here anyway. So you get somebody else come in and mess this up. You know?
Well,
But yeah.
listen, I give you all the props in the world. Well, where are you now? Are you still on pause?
We're still on pause.
Okay.
I'm just taking a break. And then I think after the weddings, we're going to regroup.
Yeah.
You know, and decide what to do. Also, I think it's better, you know, people give me some really good advice. You know, some people said acupuncture. I
did
know
all
for
that
myself,
stuff.
it's like, you know, I also got to bring my stress levels down. Right now, I think I'm just doing too much to, you know, really have my body in a good place.
I know, listen, after 3 IVF kids and then having the natural
amazing.
one, everyone was like, well, you just had to relax. I'm like, okay.
You're like, whoa,
simmer
whoa,
down.
everybody relax.
I haven't been relaxed
Relax.
in 15 years.
Now,
Fine.
did you carry them or did you have a
I
surrogate?
did.
You did?
I did.
So you had them implanted?
Carried all of them. I did. We put in 4 embryos the first time. Wow. Well, that's back then they did that.
Right.
And
Girl,
I was,
because that could have been Octomom right there.
no, I know. I actually carried triplets for like 14 weeks.
What?
And then we
Oh,
lost
honey.
one. Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
which I used to be, it was a girl, and I used to be like, you know, insane about it and be very, I mean, of course, I'm still, I think
upset
about it,
about it.
but I had the twins. I had
Yeah.
Max and Nikki, boy and a girl.
Amazing.
And then I wanted the experience of having one kid. So we had to start over, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we had to go back and do the egg retrieval and the whole thing. So we did that, and I ended up with 3 embryos. And I said, I don't care.
Yeah.
Put in the strongest one. I have a
Right.
boy and a girl. I don't care.
Yeah.
And they go, well, and so Terry and I had to have this conversation. I'm sure I'm going to be met with lots of comments from this, but Terry and I had to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Because there was a boy and a girl that were the strongest.
Right.
And so it's like, if the lab guy decides, is
Right.
that the universe or God? Or so if he decides versus so we had to go, well, let's talk about this.
Right.
So we ended up putting in the girl because I came from a family of sisters. And so we put in the girl, and that's Katerina.
Gosh.
And I swear, like, I cannot imagine a world without this person.
Oh my God.
She's such a special human being.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all special, but there's just
Yes.
there's something about Kat that she's going to do something for the world. I don't
that's
know.
incredible.
And so if that hadn't happened, we wouldn't have Kat because we would have chosen the boy. And so I still have 2 frozen.
Oh, really?
And then I have my youngest. So we have the 4 because when I had my third, she had some health issues. She's fine.
Yeah.
But she wasn't walking or crawling or talking by 15 months.
Oh, wow.
Which is terrifying.
Yeah.
And this
of
doctor
course.
said she was apraxic and wouldn't have 4 words by the age of 4. She goes to Yale. I just
Oh,
want
you know
say
what?
that she's fine. Anyway.
You see, you shouldn't say stuff like that to me because, look, I come from an evangelical Christian household, and I will catch the spirit and just run around this room, lay myself on the ground, start speaking in tongues, okay, praising God for the miracle of Kat.
Yes.
Amen.
And she is. I will tell you. She's thriving at Yale.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am.
Testimony.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody better tell it.
But then we decided
Yes.
we weren't having any more kids because I was like, we have 3 healthy children.
Right.
I'm
I'm done.
And we've got 2 totsicles, and we're just going to leave them there and whatever. And then I got pregnant.
And then boom, got
who knew?
pregnant.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Now I'm the captain now.
Go.
I'm in charge of this
Ask me.
interview. But you went into IVF because why?
I couldn't get pregnant. As someone who is in control of
Yeah.
many things in their life, and as someone who, you go through your younger years trying not to get pregnant.
Lord have mercy.
And then you're like, well, I'm ready now.
Yes.
So here we
Thinking
go.
we're in charge.
Listen, next Tuesday would be a good conception time because we're going to take that trip and we're gonna, whatever. And I couldn't.
Yeah.
And we tried and tried and tried and tried and tried, and nothing was working.
Yeah.
And I was 34.
Yeah. And you're like, all right.
They were already
Tickety
saying
tock.
AMA, advanced maternal age, geriatric pregnancy.
Yes, the geriatric.
Fuck you with the geriatric
Oh my
pregnancy.
God.
And so, and I was an actress, and I was trying to have a child in between pilot seasons.
projects.
Yeah, it
Look
was
at
the
you.
whole thing. And then I did all the things, the Clomids and the IUIs and
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
And I needed a break.
Okay.
So I took a break
Yeah.
for pilot season. And then we decided we were going to take the next step to IVF.
Yeah.
And I remember it was the most bizarre thing because you're trying to live your normal life. But I remember I had my eggs extracted one day in the morning and went to a network test that night at like 5 o'clock. I didn't get the part. It would be a better story
if you got the part.
If I had gotten the part.
No, but it's still a pretty badass story, though. I don't know if it's like, you know, maybe we shouldn't praise, you know, like putting your body all the way through, but I think there's something really
hold on to some
semblance
sense of normalcy.
Yes.
And feeling like a strong, capable person when you're in the middle of doing that so out of your control and so yes, it was a totally insane thing to do. But you know what? I did it. I felt good about it. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a beautiful story. You know, I just feel like also the beauty of being on this show is that even with all the crazy negatives and people having their comments, there have been hundreds, maybe I would say thousands of messages of people who are like, girl, go for it. You know, I went through 4 rounds. I did 3 rounds. I used a donor egg. You know, all of the things. Girl, there was somebody who offered me her eggs.
I was going to say, I got 2 tonsicles.
I was thinking it.
I know they go to a good home.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We have one little white baby in our house. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out.
I have a boy and a girl.
No judgment, though.
We have good genes. They're smart. They go to good schools. I'm just telling you.
I believe it. I'm going to talk to Keely about that. Be like, you want Terry and Heather's baby or no?
Just saying. People used to think I was the mother of Andy Cohen's baby.
Oh.
Yes, of Ben.
Now that is some lore I would get into.
Yeah.
Yes. I might resurrect that rumor. I went on Heather's podcast and she told me.
She told me she's Ben's
mom. She's the mother.
Yeah. When I came back to the show, Andy comes on my podcast and we're talking and I was joking. I was like, let's debunk some rumors because there was rumors I was coming back to Housewives. I go, let's debunk some rumors. He's like, okay. I go, rumor has it, I'm your child's mother. Because I think one time he had asked me for my eggs. I'm like, I have embryos, not eggs.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
Oh my God.
Well, listen, I could talk to you for literally days. We might need a retreat or a trip to Paris.
Ooh. No, you're talking my language.
Thank you. Okay. Girls trip to Paris.
Fabulous.
Don't tempt me with a good time. I will start planning.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Thank you so much for being here.
This has been so great.
Please
promote
everything you want to promote.
Oh, yes.
What do you want to promote?
I mean, you can find me on Badass Boz on every platform. I do my businesses, so the workshop, and also Eve by Boz, where I sell hair extensions and wigs. Fabulous. Thank you. I know. And yeah, just all of the things. So come find me. Come talk to me.
Come find her. She's a badass bitch. Love this woman. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. This is great.
That was so fun.
At CVS, it matters that we're not just in your community, but that we're part of it. It matters that we're here for you when you need us, day or night. And we want everyone to feel welcomed and rewarded. It matters that CVS is here to fill your prescriptions and here to fill your craving for a tasty and, healthy snack. At CVS, we're proud to serve your community because we believe where you get your medicine matters. So visit us at cvs.com or just come by our store. We can't wait to meet you. Store hours vary by location.
Here's the truth. You could literally be adored by everyone and then come home and still get completely ignored by your own cat. It's classic cat behavior. But new Sheba Premium Puree is a lickable treat that changes all that. They're protein-rich, made with bone broth, and have the smooth, creamy texture cats go crazy for, especially when it's hand-fed. Yeah, it's more than a treat. It's a fast pass to favorite human status. So feed your cat Sheba and go from totally ignored to truly adored in just 12 days, guaranteed, or your money back. Learn more at Sheba.com.
Wasn't that delicious?
So good.
Your bill, ladies?
I got it.
No,
I got it.
Seriously, I insist.
I insisted first.
Oh, don't be silly. You don't be silly.
People with the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card prefer to pay because they earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors for it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
No!
The Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card. Visit wellsfargo.com/activecash. Terms apply.
Are you trying to get weight loss support through telehealth, but it feels overwhelming and rushed? Check out OrderlyMeds.com now. OrderlyMeds.com was built to be different. Here, you connect with real doctors who take the time to understand your goals, review your eligibility, and guide you through a plan that's right for you. Orderly Meds provides access to proven GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, including both name brand options and personalized compound versions when appropriate. So you have choices backed by clinical oversight, not guesswork. It's a simpler, more supportive telehealth experience designed around people who want clarity, care, and confidence in their weight loss journey. And your medication is delivered directly to your home in discreet packaging, so your experience stays private from start to finish. Do your research, ask the right questions, then visit orderlymeds.com/podcast for an exclusive offer. Again, that's orderlymeds.com/podcast. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
With the Venmo debit card, a taco in one hand and ordering a ride in the other means you're stacking your rewards. Nice. Get up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash on your favorite brands when you pay with your Venmo debit card. From takeout to ride shares, entertainment, and more. Pick a bundle with your go-tos and start earning cash back at those brands. Do more Stash, get more cash. Venmo Stash bundle terms and exclusions apply. See terms at venmo.me/stash terms. Max $100 cash back per month.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.